there could be another universe right next to you, not far away in deep space, not billions of light years beyond reach, right here, overlapping this exact moment, and you would never see it. You would never touch it. You would never even know it exists. This is not science fiction. This idea comes from real physics, from equations that some of the smartest minds on Earth take seriously. And those equations suggest something deeply unsettling. Reality might not be a single layer. It might be a stack, a structure far more complex than anything we have ever imagined. Even more disturbing, this hidden universe might follow completely different rules, different forces, different particles, a different version of reality that exists beside ours but remains forever invisible. This changes everything, because if this is true, then everything you think you understand about the universe is only a small part of a much bigger system. A system we can barely detect. A system that should not even exist according to older theories of physics. And yet, modern science keeps pointing in this direction. At the center of this idea is one of the most well-known theoretical physicists in the world, Brian Greene. He has spent decades studying the deepest laws of the universe. Not stars, not planets, but the hidden structure of reality itself. His work focuses on a powerful and controversial framework known as string theory. This theory attempts to explain everything, every force, every particle, every interaction in the universe. It suggests that the smallest building blocks of reality are not points, but tiny vibrating strings. Each vibration creates what we see as particles, electrons, quarks, photons. Everything comes from these tiny strings moving in precise ways. But here is where things become strange. For the math of this theory to work, the universe cannot have just 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time. It requires more, many more. Some versions suggest 10 dimensions, others suggest 11. These extra dimensions are not something you can see. They are not stretched out like the space around you. They are hidden, curled up at incredibly small scales, so small that even our most powerful machines cannot directly detect them. And inside these hidden dimensions, something extraordinary might exist. Entire universes, not somewhere else, not in another corner of space, but embedded within the deeper structure of reality itself, existing alongside ours, but completely separated by dimensions we cannot access. This is where the idea of a hidden universe begins. It is not about distance. It is about direction. A direction that human senses were never built to perceive. A direction that physics only recently started to explore. According to some interpretations, our universe could be like a thin surface, a kind of floating layer inside a higher dimensional space. Scientists sometimes call this a brain. On this brain, everything we know exists. Matter, light, galaxies, life. But there could be other brains, other universes, sitting just a fraction of a dimension away, close enough to overlap, yet completely invisible. And here is something most people never hear. Gravity might be the only force that can move between these layers. This could explain one of the biggest mysteries in physics, why gravity is so weak compared to other forces. Some scientists believe it is not weak at all. It might just be leaking into other dimensions, spreading across multiple universes instead of staying confined to ours. If that is true, then every object around you is connected to something beyond this universe, something hidden, something we cannot directly observe, and yet we can feel its effects. This idea does not come from guesswork. It comes from equations that continue to appear in advanced physics, from attempts to unify quantum mechanics with gravity, from efforts to understand the true nature of space and time. But there is a problem. According to classical physics, this should not be possible. The universe was once thought to be simple in structure. One space, one timeline, one consistent set of laws. Everything followed a clear and predictable framework. A hidden universe breaks that idea completely. It suggests that reality is not unique. that there could be multiple versions of existence layered together, each one with its own rules, each one potentially affecting the others in ways we do not fully understand. This creates deep tension in physics, because if multiple universes exist side by side, then many of our assumptions collapse. The idea of a single unified reality no longer holds. The laws of physics may not be universal after all. They might only apply to our slice of existence. And that raises a terrifying question. How much of reality are we completely missing? There could be entire structures around us right now, entire systems, entire forms of matter that never interact with us in any direct way. Not because they are far away, but because they exist in dimensions we cannot access. It is like being trapped in a flat world, unable to see anything above or below, completely unaware of a much larger space surrounding you. This is the direction modern physics is heading, not toward a simpler universe, but toward something far more complex, a reality made of layers, hidden dimensions, invisible structures, and possibly entire universes that exist beyond our reach. And the most unsettling part is this: we might never be able to prove it directly. We might only see hints, small clues, tiny distortions in data, strange patterns in the early universe, unexplained behavior and fundamental forces, enough to suggest something is there, but never enough to fully reveal it. In this video, you will learn what scientists really mean by a hidden universe. You will understand how theories like string theory lead to this idea. You will discover why it challenges everything we thought we knew about reality, and you will see the evidence that is pushing physicists toward one of the most shocking conclusions in modern science. By the end, one thing will become clear. The universe you see might not be the full story. Welcome to the channel. If you want to explore the deepest mysteries of space, time, and reality, make sure to subscribe and stay with us until the end. Scientists use the term hidden universe in a very specific way. They are not talking about distant galaxies beyond our telescopes. They are not talking about regions of space we have not explored yet. A hidden universe could exist right here, sharing the same space as everything around you. This sounds impossible at first, but modern physics does not rule it out. In fact, some of the most advanced theories suggest this is exactly how reality might be structured. A hidden universe is not hidden because it is far away. It is hidden because it operates under different conditions, different dimensions, different interactions. It does not mix with our world in any direct way. Think of reality as layers, not side by side in distance, but stacked in a way we cannot normally perceive. Each layer can contain its own version of space, its own particles, its own laws. These layers can exist in the same location, yet remain completely separate. This idea comes from attempts to solve deep problems in physics. Scientists realize that the universe might be more than what we can measure. There could be additional directions beyond the 3 dimensions of space that we experience every day. These directions are not visible. They are hidden within the fabric of reality itself. Inside these hidden directions, entire systems could exist. Entire universes could be embedded within the same structure that holds ours together. Here is something most people never consider. 2 universes could be passing through each other right now, and neither would notice. No collisions, no light, no sound, no interaction at all. This is because everything in our universe interacts through specific forces. Electromagnetism allows light to travel. It allows atoms to form. It allows you to see and touch objects. But if another universe does not share these same interactions, then it becomes completely invisible to us. It would not reflect light. It would not absorb energy in a way we can detect. It would not trigger any signal in our instruments. This is why current technology fails to detect such a universe. All of our tools are built to measure our version of reality. Our detectors rely on known forces, known particles, known behaviors. If something exists outside that system, our machines simply ignore it. Even the most powerful particle accelerators can only probe a tiny range of conditions. They look for patterns we already understand. They search for signals that fit within known frameworks. A hidden universe might not leave those signals at all. This creates a strange limitation. We might be surrounded by something vast and complex, yet completely blind to it. Not because it is impossible to detect in principle, but because we have not yet found the right way to look. Human senses are even more limited. We see a narrow band of light. We hear a narrow range of sound. Everything outside those ranges remains invisible unless technology extends our reach. But even technology has limits. It extends perception, but only within the boundaries of known physics. A hidden universe exists beyond those boundaries, and that is what makes this idea so unsettling. It suggests that reality is not only bigger than we thought, it suggests that most of it could be completely inaccessible. Everything you experience feels complete. Length, width, height. 3 directions that define space. Add time and it feels like the full picture of reality. But modern physics suggests this picture is incomplete. There may be more directions than the ones you can move through. These are called extra dimensions. Not science fiction, not fantasy. Real mathematical solutions that appear when physicists try to unify the laws of nature. One of the strongest frameworks that predicts this is string theory. In this theory, the basic building blocks of reality are not tiny points. They are extremely small vibrating strings. The way these strings vibrate determines everything: mass, charge, forces, even the existence of particles. But the math comes with a strange requirement. These strings need more space to exist, not 3 dimensions, not 4. The equations only work if there are 10 dimensions. Some versions even require 11. At first, this seems absurd. If extra dimensions exist, then where are they? The answer is deeply counterintuitive. They are hidden, not far away, not separated by distance. They are folded into space itself at incredibly small scales. Scientists call this compactification. These extra dimensions are curled up so tightly that they are impossible to see directly. They exist at scales far smaller than an atom, smaller than anything we can currently probe. Every point in space could contain these hidden directions wrapped in complex shapes. Here is where things become even more unsettling. The shape of these hidden dimensions may control the laws of physics. The exact way they are folded can determine how particles behave, how forces interact. Even the constants of nature could depend on these unseen structures. This means reality, as you know it, might be shaped by geometry you cannot access. And inside these extra dimensions, something unexpected could exist. Entire regions of space, entire systems, possibly entire universes. Not separate in distance, but embedded within the deeper layers of reality, existing in directions that our bodies and instruments cannot reach. This is one of the reasons scientists take the idea of a hidden universe seriously. It does not require breaking physics. It emerges from trying to complete it. There is another detail that makes this even more strange. Some theories suggest that our entire universe is trapped within a limited set of dimensions, like a surface floating in a higher dimensional space. Everything you see, every galaxy, every particle might be confined to this structure, but gravity might not be. Gravity could extend into these extra dimensions. It might move through them, spreading beyond the boundaries of our visible universe. This could explain why gravity appears so weak compared to other forces. It is not weak. It is diluted, shared across dimensions we cannot see. This creates a strange possibility. Other universes could exist in those same extra dimensions, close enough to overlap with ours, yet separated by the very structure of space itself. And because we are confined to our set of dimensions, we cannot step outside and observe them. This challenges a basic assumption. That reality is only what we can measure. Because if extra dimensions are real, then most of reality could be hidden by default. The idea of a single universe is no longer the only option in modern physics. There is another possibility, a much bigger and more complex picture. Scientists call it the multiverse. This idea suggests that our universe is not alone. It may be one of many, not just a few, possibly an enormous number, each one separate in some way, yet connected through deeper laws of physics. There are different versions of this idea. One comes from cosmology. It suggests that during the early expansion of space, different regions formed their own universes. Each region grew in isolation, creating its own version of reality. These universes could be extremely far away, beyond anything we can observe. Another version comes from quantum physics. At the smallest scales, reality behaves in unpredictable ways. Some interpretations suggest that every possible outcome actually happens, each in its own separate universe. This leads to a constantly branching structure of reality. But one of the most intriguing ideas come from higher dimensional theories. This is where the concept of brain worlds appears. In this view, our universe is like a thin surface, a three-dimensional layer floating inside a higher dimensional space. Everything you know exists on this layer. Matter, light, energy, all confined to it. But this surface might not be alone. There could be other brains, other universes, positioned very close to ours, separated by a tiny gap in a higher dimension, not separated by distance in space, but by direction we cannot access. These universes could exist side by side like pages in a book. Each page is its own world. Each page contains its own events. Yet all pages are part of the same structure. And here is something even more surprising. These other universes might follow completely different laws of physics. The strength of forces could be different. The types of particles could change. Even the nature of space and time could vary. Some universes might expand faster. Some might collapse quickly. Some might never form stars at all. This means the universe you live in is not the only possible version of reality. It is just one configuration among many. In some models, these universes can even interact in rare ways. There are theories suggesting that two brains could collide. Such a collision could release enormous energy. Some physicists have proposed that events like this might be linked to the origin of our own universe, a cosmic collision, not in space as we know it, but in a higher dimensional framework. There is also a disturbing implication. If universes can exist so close to ours, then the boundary between them is not a wall. It is more like a separation defined by physics itself, a separation that could, in theory, be crossed under extreme conditions. But for now, that boundary remains unreachable. We are confined to our slice of reality. And that slice might be incredibly thin compared to the full structure of existence. This changes the way scientists think about everything. Instead of one universe with fixed laws, there could be a vast landscape of universes, each one different, each one shaped by deeper principles that we are only beginning to understand. And if that is true, then the hidden universe is not just a possibility. It might be one of many layers surrounding us right now. For a long time, physics followed a simple belief. There is one universe, one consistent system, one set of laws that applies everywhere. This idea shaped centuries of scientific thinking. It worked extremely well. It explained motion, energy, light, and gravity with remarkable precision. Classical physics built a stable picture of reality. Everything had a clear place. Every force followed predictable rules. The universe was like a perfectly designed machine. In that framework, the idea of multiple universes makes no sense. There was no room for overlapping realities, no space for hidden layers, no mechanism to support more than one version of existence. The laws were universal. They applied everywhere, without exception. But modern physics started to reveal cracks in this picture. At very small scales, the behavior of particles does not follow classical rules. This is where quantum mechanics takes over. Particles can exist in multiple states at once. They behave like waves and points at the same time. Their exact position cannot be known with certainty. This alone was already strange. But when physicists tried to combine quantum mechanics with gravity, something even more troubling appeared. The equations stopped working. Gravity is described by the curvature of space and time. It is smooth and continuous. Quantum mechanics is based on probabilities and discrete interactions. These two frameworks do not fit together easily. When scientists try to merge them, the math breaks down. Infinite values appear. Predictions lose meaning. The theory stops making sense. This is one of the biggest unsolved problems in physics, and it is exactly in this gap that ideas like hidden universes begin to emerge. Some theories suggest that adding extra dimensions can resolve these contradictions. Others propose that multiple universes are part of the solution. But this creates a new problem. It challenges the idea that there is only one consistent reality. If multiple universes exist, then which laws are truly fundamental? Different universes could follow different rules. That means the laws we observe might not be universal at all. They could be local, limited to our region of reality. This breaks one of the core assumptions of physics, that the same rules apply everywhere. There is also a deeper issue. If universes can overlap or exist close to each other, why do we not see direct evidence? Why do they not interact in obvious ways? Why does our universe appear so isolated? These questions do not have clear answers. Some theories suggest that interactions are extremely weak or rare. Others propose that the separation is built into the structure of dimensions themselves. But none of these explanations are fully confirmed. This leaves physics in an unusual position. The most advanced theories point toward a larger reality, a reality that includes hidden universes and extra dimensions. But these ideas also conflict with the simplicity and consistency that classical physics once provided. It is like two different descriptions of reality that refuse to agree. One describes a clean, predictable universe. The other describes something far more complex, a system with layers, hidden structures, and possibly multiple versions of existence. And right now, there is no complete theory that can fully connect these two pictures. This is where modern physics stands, at the edge of understanding, where the old rules begin to fail and the new ones are not yet fully clear. And in that uncertainty, the idea of a hidden universe continues to grow. No one has seen a hidden universe. There is no image, number, direct signal, no confirmed detection, and yet scientists continue to search for it with serious effort. They are not looking for something obvious. They are looking for small cracks in reality, tiny effects that should not exist if our universe is all there is. One of the biggest clues comes from gravity. Gravity behaves differently from other forces. It is extremely weak compared to electromagnetism and the nuclear forces. This has puzzled scientists for decades. Some theories suggest that gravity is not weak at all. It only appears weak because it spreads into extra dimensions. If that is true, then part of gravity is leaking out of our universe. This would mean our universe is not closed. It would mean there is more space beyond what we can see, and gravity can move through it. Scientists test this idea in precise experiments. They measure gravity at very small distances. They look for tiny deviations from expected behavior. So far, results have been consistent with known physics, but the search continues with increasing precision. Another place to look is in high-energy particle collisions. Machines like the Large Hadron Collider push particles to extreme energies. When these particles collide, they create new forms of matter and energy. Scientists analyze every detail of these collisions. They are looking for something unusual, missing energy. If energy disappears during a collision, it could mean it has moved into another dimension, not destroyed, not lost, just transferred somewhere we cannot detect. So far, no confirmed evidence of this has been found, but some results have come close to the edge of expectation. close enough to keep the idea alive. There are also clues hidden in the structure of the universe itself. The early universe left behind a faint signal known as the cosmic microwave background. This is a map of ancient radiation from when the universe was very young. It carries information about the shape and behavior of space at that time. Scientists study this map in extreme detail. They look for patterns that do not fit standard models, strange alignments, unusual temperature variations, tiny irregularities that might hint at interactions beyond our universe. Some anomalies have been observed. They are subtle, not strong enough to confirm anything, but strange enough to raise questions. There is also a lesser-known idea involving dark matter. Dark matter makes up most of the mass in the universe, yet no one has directly detected it. Some scientists have proposed that dark matter could be connected to hidden dimensions or even other universes. It might interact with our world through gravity while remaining invisible in every other way. This would mean we are already feeling the presence of something hidden without understanding its true nature. Despite all these efforts, there is still no direct proof, no clear signal that confirms the existence of a hidden universe. But the theories behind it remain strong. They come from attempts to solve real problems in physics. They are not random ideas. They are built from equations that continue to appear in advanced research. And as experiments become more precise, the possibility remains open. A hidden universe might not reveal itself in a dramatic way. It might only appear as a small inconsistency, a tiny detail that does not fit, a quiet signal that suggests something else is out there, just beyond our reach. All of this leads to a disturbing possibility. Reality may be far larger than anything we can observe. The visible universe, with its billions of galaxies, might be only a thin surface of something much deeper. Everything we measure is limited by light. We can only see as far as light has traveled since the beginning of the universe. This creates a boundary, a horizon. Beyond that, we have no direct information. But even within that boundary, there could be layers we cannot detect. Our universe might not be the full structure. It could be one region inside a much bigger system, a system with extra dimensions, hidden spaces, and possibly other universes existing at the same time. This changes the meaning of existence itself. For centuries, humans believed they were at the center of everything. That idea was replaced by the understanding that Earth is not special. Then it became clear that even our galaxy is just one among many. Now, physics suggests that even our entire universe might not be unique. It could be one small part of a much larger reality. There is another layer to this idea. The laws of physics that we trust may not be absolute. They might only apply within our region. In another universe, those laws could be completely different. Forces could behave in new ways. Matter might form under different rules. Even time could flow differently. This means the universe you experience is just one version of what is possible. This raises deeper questions. Why does our universe have the laws that it does? Why do the constants of nature fall within the narrow range that allows stars and life to exist? Some scientists suggest that in a multiverse, many universes exist with different conditions. Most of them might be empty or unstable. Only a few would support complex structures. This idea shifts the way scientists think about explanation. Instead of asking why the universe is designed a certain way, the question becomes how many versions exist and why we are in this one. There is also a more unsettling implication. If hidden universes exist, they might be completely inaccessible. Not just difficult to reach, but impossible to interact with in any meaningful way. They could remain forever beyond our understanding. Even with advanced technology, there may be limits that cannot be crossed. Physics itself may have boundaries. There could be questions that no experiment can answer, not because they are wrong, but because the structure of reality prevents access. This challenges the goal of science. Science aims to explain everything, to build a complete picture of reality, but if parts of reality are fundamentally hidden, then that picture may always remain incomplete. And yet the search continues, because even small clues can reveal something deeper. Even indirect evidence can reshape our understanding. The idea of a hidden universe forces us to accept something difficult. We may be living inside a much larger system without the ability to fully see it. And everything we call reality might only be a fraction of what truly exists. The idea of a hidden universe is not built on fantasy. It comes from real physics, from equations that try to explain the deepest structure of reality, from scientists working to unify gravity, quantum mechanics, and the fabric of space itself. What makes this idea so powerful is not that it is strange. It is that it appears naturally when we push our understanding far enough. Extra dimensions, parallel layers, universes that may exist beside our own. These are not random thoughts. They are possible outcomes of serious scientific models, but they all point to the same unsettling truth. Reality may not be what it seems. Everything we can see, measure, and observe could be only a small fraction of what actually exists. A thin slice of a much larger structure that remains mostly hidden from us. Even the most advanced instruments on Earth only reach a limited range of reality. They depend on the laws we already understand. If something exists outside those laws, it can remain completely invisible. Not because it is far away, but because it does not interact with our version of physics in a detectable way. This means the universe around us might not be complete. There could be layers of existence we will never directly access, hidden dimensions that shape the behavior of space, entire universes that exist in parallel, sharing the same underlying structure, but never crossing into our perception. And even if we never find direct proof, the mathematics that leads to these ideas will still remain, the questions will still remain, the gaps in our understanding will still remain. That is what makes this so powerful. Science does not just describe what we can see. It also reveals what might be there, just beyond reach. And sometimes those possibilities are more important than answers, because they change how we think about everything, not just space, not just time, but existence itself. And so one question stays open. How much of reality are we completely missing? If you enjoyed exploring this idea, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. There are many more mysteries waiting to be uncovered, and this is only the beginning.